Hey, how's it going? Today I'm just going to fall in the order. No, today I'm going to work on this boat again. I've been testing this idea of the front access that you see in a boat like a CB90 has this access panel, or this access hatch. It's a bit of a mission to get this to work, really. I can't have any blocks down the bottom here. Around the edge of the door frame there's this gap, so that this moon pool can actually work. I don't like that I can see the water though, so I'm going to scrap this idea. And I've been thinking about this all day because the problem I was running into is that I wasn't building this boat to meet the mission requirements. You know, I was just like building a ship, and it kept getting really out of control in terms of the size of the boat. So the mission that this boat needs to be built for is to be slightly bigger than the rib, be able to carry more people, have an onboard medical area, so a medical bed, and have a sleeping area for me, and probably some other things like self-righting and extended range and higher speed and better stability in higher waves. So I've modeled this kind of idea off the CB90. It's not a very big boat, but it is definitely bigger than the rib and definitely more capable in terms of what's inside here. And it just meets sort of that idea of mission requirements. Like, what am I trying to achieve? I'm not trying to build a massive ship. I just want something that's a little bit better than the rib. So on the top, we've got this main access hatch, and this will be on the back deck. And that comes down, and then we have direct access to 12 seats plus a medical bed. Then we have a sealed off room, which is kind of the engine room. We've got 3 steam pistons. And in the back here, we'll have 2 fluid jets, one on each side. And then we've got a door down the hallway. And this goes into the boiler and furnace room. And then in the front here, I'm going to do some stairs or something that come up. And then have a little half helm bridge thing. So this means everything is accessed from sort of below the deck, below the waterline probably. And what I'm thinking for this furnace and boiler room is that I'll put all the pumps and valves along this wall, and then probably also put the microcontrollers along the back here, and maybe also scatter them around in the back through here in the piston room. And that'll mean that everything can be repaired just from looking at a wall, finding a pipe. It'll all be easy to repair. There won't be anything. Okay, there will be some things that are a bit hidden. Because if we go down in here, I've got this big 1 block gap the whole way except for where the pistons are. The idea with this is that I can run an active stabilizer basically the whole length of the boat. And that'll give me roll stabilization. And then what I want to do is probably use these 2 back sections, or maybe even the stabilizer compartment as a fuel storage. And if you think about how much fuel will this hold, it's probably over 10,000 litres. And that will just give me a crazy amount of range. And switching over to steam and the diesel furnace, that makes the fuel consumption even less. So the range should be just immense on this thing. So silly me started doing this earlier and didn't hit recording. So this is where I got to with that. You'd be able to come down this hallway, go up these stairs. But I want to have rails on both sides, I think, for this. If you coming down the hallway, make a left, go up the stairs, and then there'll be a thing that comes through the middle. I'm not even sure this actually needs to be symmetrical. I could put the seat, the driver's seat, over to one side. But the point is that I'm going to use a seat which has sort of, you're sat down quite low. So it needs to be elevated a little bit off the floor. If I give myself 8 blocks here for walking space, the seat probably doesn't need to be that high, but it definitely needs to be elevated more than just sitting on the floor. Maybe it does need to be a bit higher because it needs to be able to see over the edge of all this, right? The only other thing that I need to have in the front of the boat is going to be a sleeping compartment and maybe some storage facilities. So if I want to steal some ropes or some scuba gear or something like that, I've got a place to put all that stuff. I'm thinking because there's only going to be me piloting it, it doesn't even need to have a full bridge. Like, it doesn't need to go the whole way across. I want to have rails around the outside. Yeah, so if I give myself at least 3 walking area and then rails, that should be okay. So this is where I'm getting to, right? Where it's going to be like this asymmetrical helm thing. I want to build it away from this hull so that it's not super influenced by the shape and dimensions of this hull. Because I'm thinking in Black Lagoon, they've got a torpedo boat and it's got like a flybridge on it. And this would be a good opportunity to do that, I think. Where I can have my driver's seat down here. And then I think it would be really good if I use a big display. Big. Maybe that's too big. Maybe something like that, and then tilt it towards me. And then I can just put a map on there. Actually, that's maybe too big. What about 3? When it tilts, it might even come a bit closer. And so put all of this inside, and I need a space down the edge here for walking. And then what I could do is put a hatch at the back of this. So then there'd be this entry point on the deck and then a specific hatch to get straight to the driver's seat. And then above this, if I say this is like the deck height, I could put another helm, or like a flybridge. So I won't have to go inside all the time if I want to. At least I can use it to get going and point myself in the right direction. And then I can go inside, which would bring it to be like the full width of the boat anyway. So that's kind of good. So I'm going to bring this up, and this is going to be my deck, my building space. Get rid of all that. I think I'll build the flybridge first because it maybe is just a bit easier. You know, I really like the bridge from my pilot boat. The only real reason I haven't finished this pilot boat is because the windows are not sealed. All of these big windows aren't watertight, and it makes it a real pain to keep it buoyant. I also ran into issues with this camera. It's a lot of controls, but it gives me, I would have space for a map, throttle control. This was engine startup, so that can all be engines. That whole thing rotates up. I might need to shuffle this across. Yeah, I'm going back to the desert. Yeah, see, this all pivots up quite nicely. You can still flip all the switches and read all the gauges. I think if I put a window in front of this, because if it's a flybridge, you're going to be like out in the open air, I suppose. I might do an XML window for this so that I can have one frame that goes the whole way across there. I can use normal windows for there, and then probably XML these ones as well, because then the frames will look the same width. And this can just carry on into the rail. So I shouldn't need any of this. Man, what's going on? Got to figure out how much of this rotates and which parts don't need to rotate or don't even need to be visible. I think this was a wedge because pivots don't mind going, or other blocks don't mind going through parts that are wedges. The player sensor was turning on this light, I think. Those are, oh yeah. I'm just going to make everything kind of super simple out here for now. And there is, yeah, that constant number controls the rotation. I think the one Black Lagoon flybridge, whatever the torpedo boat's name is from that, it kind of goes like straight into the top, the roof of the normal bridge. but it's got like stair access as well. So it's a little different. If I do this, and then I can put my hatch in here somewhere. I think that's kind of interesting. And it's obviously a lot smaller. So maybe the hatch needs to go over a bit more because it depends where the seat is going to be. Oh yeah, because I wanted this to be higher, right? I wanted it to be like up here. Which then puts the hatch right up here as well. What do you think about this? Doing like the angled up window. And then I could have it flat along the top, except it might not be flat enough. It gives me space to put in a display though. Just need to figure out how I'm going to transfer this window over. I guess like that, and I use the little one piece thing. Oh yeah, if I do the window like this, so it's on the outside, then that gives me more room on the inside. Especially for instrument panels. This whole line across there could be instrument panels. Yeah, I really like this. This is cool. So I have good visibility out both sides. I can probably carry the window along most of the way through here. What if I don't have stairs? What if stairs are not the solution for this? So I still want a hatch or something so that I can climb out. Okay, let's get this all sealed up and then figure out... It looks pretty weird. Where is it? I think this is good though. And then if you just had a way to push the seat up. What's the point of the flybridge though? Shouldn't there be... Maybe there needs to be stairs, but then I'm punching through this space. I feel like I definitely need a way up though from the driver's seat, a way to get out. So I guess the ship that I've been looking at from Black Lagoon has a staircase that goes through here. So what if I do the same? And then there would be a door, but this is like way too close now. It does actually line up with that though. But then you're right at the door when you get there. I don't know, I kind of like that. It's a very long boat. Why don't I just make it longer? So I just need to make sure I put this wall back, right? And then I can just move this part back and then that'll be however much extra I need. What about there? Because then I can get another window in and still have a piece of wall. Then the stairs need to go back. Probably 3. Gotta have some space. And then this goes back into that gap there. I really don't mind that. I think it's kind of interesting. Gives it some more personality. What I could do with this, round it off a little bit. Maybe not like that. I've just got this idea of the torpedo boat in my head now, so I'm like trying to make all these pieces like protective walls, so if you were getting shot at, you've got somewhere to hide. I think with more details like that, it would be really nice. Or it'll come out nice, you know, and I can do some of these. I wonder if I need a way to get up the front of it, or is just hopping over it going to be okay? Because I'm not going to put rails out here, it'll block the view from the driving seat. Okay, so now we've got some health and safety approved rails. You can come down through this door, then I kind of want this to be sealed off somehow, but not fully sealed, you know. I still want to be able to get in through this way. My initial idea was that this would all just stay open and then the driving seat would come out. Doing this means all of this is like wasted space as well, which kind of sucks. I'm just going to leave the bridge alone for a while. Maybe something will come to me. Not sure what to do about the back of this boat. It could be good to put a winch on it now that it's going to be a much bigger boat. And I need to have an anchor on it anyway. So because the front is 3 wide, I can put a large winch in here, which should be okay. It does look kind of weird. Maybe it would be good if it had more personality. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's better if it looks real angry or something. I don't know if this is the best idea, but I think it's kind of funny, kind of interesting. So it kind of makes it look like it's got fangs. That's got to be a bad idea. There's no way that's a good idea. I think it's real interesting, but I don't think it's going to work very well. Let's go back. I think I can just put the winch in like this way, and that sort of is the best option. Yeah, that'll do. So the boat that flipped had 2 maggles on, 1 per anchor, had 2 anchors. I wonder if it has more maggles, will it be better at not flipping over? I kind of feel like that is the exact design of the bat anchor. I don't know, it's a little bit different. It's very similar though. I'm just going to use the bat anchor. I did want to keep that for the C-17, but maybe it's just like one of those things. It's a signature anchor that's on every boat. Maybe it's too big for this boat actually. I'd have to go down to just a one maggle anchor probably. What if I did more of like a teardrop? Gear those. That actually isn't bad. I think I'll do that because it's kind of a smaller boat and that's kind of a smaller anchor. And it still looks kind of interesting. The main access is protected. We've got access to the bridge or the helm. We've got a flybridge, which all of this will need to change. I wanted the seat to be in the middle of this area, so probably like that. The door can open, you can still get on the seat. I want to put a display here. Maybe I can put it actually like along the front though. And then this would leave that open for me to crawl in and out of. Maybe that's what I need to do. Those stairs are the worst. So hard to place those. I wonder what that's like. Let's have a play test. So we're on the back. Drop some people off. Bop, 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 bop. Run up here. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, I'm stuck on something. It just makes me think I can move the seat across the whole way. I probably need to leave one space open for instruments. The monitor can still kind of exist in that area. And the stairs probably only need to go up to this level as well. What I should do then is just remove all this and make the seat on a track. The whole like thing can go on a track. Or maybe a piston. I wonder if pistons... Do pistons use electricity? Because you want it to come up and then stay at the height, right? You don't want it to move around from here. But if it went down and then went up when you sit in the seat, is that just a gimmick or is that like kind of cool? And that could all go under here as well, which is really nice. Could utilize this space and not be wasting anything up here. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It is kind of a goofy looking boat, but I think it's good and it serves the purpose. Because I want it to be able to operate in the Arctic long term, right? So you never really want to go outside anyway. You only want to be outside if it's really necessary. And then I've got all this front space I can use for captain's quarters. So I want to put a window in 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to put a window in here. And then there's a window in the hallway. How much is this? 9. I probably won't be able to put windows on the other side, and I can get some in here though. Yeah, I think having windows is going to be really important all the way through. It'd be good if we had windows that would fit into these wedge spots, and then I could have windows up in the captain's quarters. Otherwise, I might put, I think I will, put a bunch of those porthole windows in the top. So if I go like this, that can be the wall that separates captain's quarters and the driving area. Or actually, maybe that should be here. I'll have to put a hatch so you can get in under here, because there'll be some mechanical stuff in there. But then, what's this? That door seems kind of out of place. Don't like, maybe it needs to step back a little bit more. But then, because of that wedge there on the other side, what if I go back like this? And then, yeah, I can do wedges that go in. And that helps a little bit with kind of making it less prominent. I think I'm just going to fill up any spot that isn't really being used because it'll help with physics, doing the physics blocks later. I think a bed will go over this side. Maybe like that. I actually want to bring it up a bit more, and then I'm going to put a hatch. Just a normal sliding hatch down here. Because, yeah, like, what else am I going to put under the bed? Unless I don't want to put the bed there. Maybe the bed goes up the front or something. Yeah, I think that's a better place for the bed. I don't really want to block off anything, so I've got to be careful about what I put up there, but I was thinking a battery would be good up there. I still think this hatch is in the right place, and then you'll be able to access all of this. I want to see how it floats, and maybe also how it moves. If I put in some testing jets. It seems very prone to rolling, so having a active stabilizer would be really good. And I can just put in a keel all the way through the bottom anyway. But this is quite good, eh? Because it's not so tall. Also, what is that? Some part just not connected to anything. Yeah, because it's not tall though, it doesn't have much risk of rolling over. 100% wind. Yeah, I think it, for what I want it to do, right? I want to be long range out in the Arctic, so big waves. I think it's going to serve that kind of purpose really well because it's not going to roll very easily. It's so big that it will have a massive fuel capacity. Having all the fuel in the bottom is going to make it more stable and even drop it down in the water a bit more as well. All the rails around the top mean it'll be harder to fall off the side. It looks goofy, but it's like highly functional. I think that's a helm. Oh, the helm disconnected. Everything's sealed compartments, so if there is some flooding, it'll be easy to stop it. I'll be able to use this space for a proper bilge pump. Won't do any hacky air manifold pumps. I'll put an actual pump in there. I'm not sure how the diesel furnace really works for heat generation, but having it in the center might mean that the whole interior of the boat stays warm. Yeah, and the fluid jets mean it's got really good maneuverability as well. This is into the wind, 100%. I was thinking of putting auxiliary tanks in as well, so down the back below where the water jets poke out, I'll use that part of that in-between gap between the very bottom of the boat and then the floor, and I'll fill that with seawater. And the hope there is that if you do end up doing this, jumping out of the water, that there's a reservoir of water that the fluid jets can use to like level yourself out and get you back into the water, or at least just keep flying along. It'll be like that spy boat that can fly through the air. If you put a valve on the fluid jets and limit it to something, I think it was like 0.0002, then they still provide a lot of thrust, but they don't make the water jet particles. And because it's only using like 0.002 whatever water, if I have a reservoir of water, it might mean that I can actually just fly it. Okay, I need a steam condenser, but I don't really have any space for it, so that will be going in here below the driver's seat. I don't think this is going to take up too much space. Oh, what if I go, what's that one? B. Is B out or in? I wish they would just label them all consistently. Yep, that'll do for cooling that, and then go water out needs to go back into the boilers, water in. Just up there. I might try and run it through a different wall. I have to like reserve a bunch of space for air valves and that kind of stuff. I might be able to put that all in the middle here actually. So that back one will be the exhaust pipe. And you know what? I'm also going to make sure that I expose this. I'll put a hatch on here that can open. I want to make sure that it's all still able to be opened and modified and repaired. So maybe I need to move the pivot up actually. There you go. So that can open and we can repair the valve or the exhaust pipe. Both of these need to go to the furnace. I think it'll be on this wall though. Yeah. Fluids, exhaust. I might flip the furnace over so I can run the exhaust and the air up. And then the coolant can go down. Coolant and coolant. And this is coolant and coolant. Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that'll be fine. And because there's all this space directly below, I'm going to use that to pump the coolant around. I can't remember which way this goes. A is out, I think. It'll make it hard to repair the pumps if I put them directly below. What if I just put them inside the hallway? Ooh, I should move it down a bit so it's not all the same. And come up. There you go. Coolant taken care of. And it'll be easy to repair. And then, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing about that. I should be able to solve this right now. So which one was exhaust? This is exhaust. And this is air. Okay. And then I need another valve to control the diesel. Maybe I'll just put the valve here. What I really want though is to have like a wall of valves and things, so maybe I just need to pipe out and across. Yeah, something like that. And I think what I'll end up doing is replacing all these pipes with XML pipes so they don't look so ridged, so they don't look so ridged. And then I can just chuck a fluid port on there. And most of this will be fuel tank, so it's just going to be straight in. Then I think this was water in. So steam out needs to come through all this. That's kind of a crazy way to go. What's this one? Steam out. So we're looking at this side. And yeah, I'm going to go down through the wall and then through the floor. I wonder if I need a pump for this. I hope I don't. Because it's got to travel a much further distance, it might mean that it takes longer to pressurize. I'm not sure how that works. Also, if you pressurized steam with a pump, then would you need a boiler? That was pretty easy. So steam goes on that side, comes out this side. To get this. And then it needs to go to the condenser, which is gonna be tricky. Water out. So it needs to come on this side. I think it'll just go down. I think I was pumping it away on the other things I've made that are steam powered. I'm pretty sure I'm pumping it away and also out of the condenser. So both in and out need pumps for the condenser. So I need to rethink this. Probably I need to like rotate it. If I rotate it, I could use the space up here for pumps. If I pull it along one, maybe. Oh yeah, let's do this. Just going to use the wall. And then it pops out here somewhere. Oh no. Oh wait, yes, it's in the right place. Haha. Oh no, ladders. Goodbye ladders. No more ladders. Okay, I need to go up. Look at that. You know you've played Stormworks too much when you just know where pipes are going to be. You're not even thinking about it. You just know. It's like the Force. Use the Force. Find the pipes. And then this goes through the condenser, turns into water, and then comes up here. Yeah. Hey, where is this? There. Okay. First try. Yeah, I'll come back down through the wall. I don't actually think you need 2 pumps on your condensers system because I only have 1 pump on the C17 and I think I only have 1 pump on the locomotive and they both seem to work fine. I think everything's connected now. I was talking to some people, some unnamed individuals, about how to manage Steam, and they said to use the boiler temperature. But, you know, in this case, what actually happens if you do that, you just get these crazy spikes because the boiler temperature takes so much longer than the furnace temperature to change. So I would not advise that. I think if you are using diesel steam powered, if you're using the diesel furnace, run your PID off the furnace's temperature. It will, what do I call this? Start furnace. I'm just going to furnace. Yeah, just do this. This is way easier. So you pick a target temperature for the furnace, in which I've done 140, and I know it's going to stabilize a little bit lower at 138. Chuck it into a PID, 0.1p and 0 and 0 IND. Process variable is the furnace temperature. Set point is that target value. And then connect it all to the air valve. And I should probably just connect this to every pump. I think that's all of them. There you go. This is the flywheel kebab clutch, which goes to there. And then the other one is connected to my lever, which isn't connected to anything else. And then I can just run a pipe. I should have done that in mirrored. Can just figure out where this gearbox comes out. Goes into the steam pistons. Oh my god, what have I done? That goes out into here through these gearboxes, back through these other gearboxes, then it goes up, then it goes into here, then it goes back into there, then it goes back down there, then it goes through that. What the heck? And it comes out there. I think it does that only because of the way that the C17 is set up. There's a very tight space on the C17. T-piece, T-piece, straight pipe, straight pipe, straight pipe, corner, 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 corner. I think that's it actually, other than having the CPU, the water CPU. A and D, deflect A. I still need to figure out how to make a really good water jet controller, because I'm just using this one that is like haphazardly slapped together. It works, but it's like, it's limited. It can only do forwards and reverse as well as the steering. Whereas I would really like it if it could do all the different control systems, where it's like you can go left and right, or you can strafe. I can't remember if it does this because the PID is going nuts, or if it's because the PID's going nuts. See, it stabilizes at 138. It'll go nuts if you've got infinite fuel on as well. Leans a bit. Oh my god. What the hell? This feels so fast. Has it slowed down now? It's so silent as well. Unless you're like right there. I should put a speedo in this. Where does this all go? Doesn't it? I should be able to put 3 more gearboxes in if I really want to try and crank it. I think you need 6 to get the most efficiency. That's what somebody told me. Let's chuck another one in, and then we can just say that is max efficiency. And I'm not sure how to make it go faster from here, but I guess you would just add more steam pistons. Oh, look at this. So I get the heat status when I'm in the boiler room. If I come down to piston room, I lose it. Yeah, if I'm sitting down, I lose it. But if I'm in the medical bed, I get it. And then driver's seat gets it, but captain's quarters doesn't. So I'll need a couple of extra heaters. They should add a radiator. I wonder if normal radiators do this. Like, does this normal radiator give off heat? They should add like an oil cooled, is it, no, what is it? Those oil radiators that they have in some old buildings. They have a lot of them in New Zealand anyway. You could have them like plugged into the wall and then run the coolant between the boiler and the furnace and just pump it throughout the ship and have radiators all the way around that can just heat the whole ship. Anyway. Holy crap, what the hell? What have I created? That can't be real. I have infinite electricity on because I don't want to connect a battery. So I took whatever the ratio was and I times it by 3. Oh, it looks like it drops off though. That might be the flywheels. The flywheels might be taking a hit and then keeping the speed up. Now it's real slow. And then it's suddenly really quick. Why? Why are you like this? I wonder if it's not got enough water. Can I jam it and keep it at a real high speed? I don't think so. It seems like it wants to slow down almost immediately. Well, around 47 knots, 50 kilometers, and 90 miles-ish. I'm sure if I stabilize it and bring it out of the water, because it could just be drag that's making it do this. Could be drag reducing the speed, because, you know, basically all of the boat is in the water right now. I don't think it needs a hydrofoil system. If it had just like a partial kind of helps it get out of the water a bit more when it's going, I bet it would go way faster. But what's nice about this, it's not using like any fuel at all. And I don't have infinite fuel on. But I need to be able to check that tank. The meter's not in here. But anyway, it's not really using any fuel. 0.1 litres a second is what it says on there, but you know. So yeah, I think with a little bit of decoration, a nice colour scheme, I want to put like some cranes or something on the back and a machine gun so that I can shoot any bears. Definitely only bears and other predators. But yeah, this is, I think it's actually turned out quite well. You know, it's not as grand. The design isn't as grand or fancy or realistic as all the other ships I was trying to build, but it's very on point for what the task it needs to do is. Like it's meeting all of the requirements of the mission that I want it to do. It doesn't look too bad either. It doesn't look that bad. It looks kind of goofy, but maybe it can evolve into something really interesting. Yeah, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.